If you want to learn how to make some quick and easy takeout, shrimp fried rice, cooking with the cooks, our next episode is up. Come see us in the kitchen. Welcome back. It is your favorite chef, and we are here super excited about this episode because if you've been following us, this ties into another episode. One of the things that we would really like to do is make sure that people are making these dishes in their homes and utilizing it, not just kind of watching a handsome guy on TV. With that being said, earlier in last week or a week or two, we did a teriyaki pineapple chicken. If you definitely wanted to work these dishes in, this is another Asian dish, so maybe you can do one on a Wednesday, one on a Friday, but when you make your rice for your teriyaki chicken, you can definitely save some, and on Friday maybe do like a shrimp fried rice, because that's what we're getting into today. Shrimp fried rice. We're at our mise en place station. We're getting everything together. We have shrimp. Couple of things about the shrimp is wild caught versus farm raised. Farm raised is typically always going to be cheaper. Farm raised is shrimp that has been raised literally, in a fish farm. They control it with, a lot of different chemicals, but there's disease and things like that. Wild caught is shrimp that's caught in the wild. I'm pretty sure they have different things that happen there, but wild caught is always better. I like to get my shrimp, if it's not for a huge order, with the shells already on it, because what I'll do is I will peel and devein, wash, peel and devein. But then what happens is I take these and we'll set them aside. I'll put them in my freezer so we can use these for stock. So this is not trash right here. We'll just set that aside. So we have our shrimp here. In the video that we did before with the chicken, we also have our ginger, we have our wasabi, we have some garlic, we have some teriyaki base, we have some teriyaki sauce, our peas, and we're going to use cabbage, and we have scallions. Now, I add these things to my rice, and we're going to add a little bit more before we get to the table, but I just want to again go over cutting. We cut the tops off of our scallions before hand at a cuffed angle. Knife doesn't leave the board. And we have scallions cut perfectly for our dish. So we have these scallions here. We're going to put them in, and then we also are going to need some cabbage. So I'll set this aside. I have cabbage. Now, cabbage you don't typically find in fried rice at the store. I add this as kind of a filler if you don't have rice and you want it to be a little bit more filling. I add cabbage. You'll see how we put this together. So I'm going to slice thin so it cooks up rather quickly. And this was 1/2 and then actually quartered. And that'll be enough. You don't need that much. So we have all that we need. What we're going to do here is we're going to go over to our cooking table, and we'll put all this dish together and let you guys know how it gets done. Let's go. And we are back. Thank you for joining us again. We are doing a shrimp fried rice. It's Cooking with the Cooks. I am your host and chef, Brian Cook. That is actually my last name, so you can say it is what I was born to do. We were at our mise en place table when we opened up the episode, and a couple different things I've added before I've come to the cooking table. My son said he wanted some onions and carrots into the rice. We initially just had peas. I have my shrimp here, wild caught, which we talked about. I'll quickly just demonstrate. So the carrots, I like to do matchstick carrots so that they are easier to be able and cook quickly. Plus they blend in with the rice. I took a carrot and I shaved it down, and then we're just going to make matchsticks and cut them as so. And we have them there. We're going to, before we begin anything here, I want to get the shrimp seasoned and marinated. So we're going to take a little bit of fresh ginger, ground ginger. I don't have any fresh. I didn't have any fresh last episode when we did the teriyaki pineapple chicken, and I should have loaded up my pantry, but I didn't. I think I'm gonna get some ginger paste next time. So we adding some ground ginger. I'm adding a little bit of wasabi sauce to my shrimp. I have some garlic left in my pilong that I crushed up earlier. This is fresh garlic. You can also use garlic paste, as well as ginger paste if you had. I just want to get all of that garlic out. And then we're going to take and add some sesame oil to this. That is not even a teaspoon. We're going to add a little bit more. And we just want to like flavor our shrimp. I like to do that just to be able to add depths of flavor to what it is that we are preparing. I didn't learn this until I made fried rice for some time, and actually till I went into the store and market to grab soy sauce. So there is an actual soy sauce made for cooking with fried rice. What we're going to do is turn our, we'll get back to that in a second, but we're going to turn our pan on. So yes, this right here is a sweet soy sauce for rice. So if you ever notice that there's a different flavor or whatever it is, this is a sweet soy sauce that we have for rice, and this is a regular low sodium soy sauce that I would typically use before I use this. So we're going to use a combination of both. Typically they have a browning sauce when you go to the Asian market, which the rice is white, but then it's brown when you get it. We're going to just use teriyaki glaze and some teriyaki sauce because, again, that's what we had in the kitchen. I have some day-old rice. It's best to use that when you're making fried rice. Don't do the same day of. It's just not a good consistency. So you just want to make sure that before you put this into the pan, it is going to be, broken up of any clumps because it has been sitting a day old. We have our cabbage, we have our peas, carrots, and onions. But before I put anything in the pan, I'm going to add a little bit of, get this water out. And then I am going to add a little bit of sesame oil. And I'm going to make my egg, which we would typically do in the end part to add, but I want to make it now so that my pan is clean. And I'm just going to give a quick stir around, and we'll add this to our rice later. But I didn't want to add it when all the rice and everything was in the pot. Again, here at Cooking with the Cooks, we're into trying to do one pot meals as we get this channel started, just so that you can get a little verse of what we do here. We've been doing quite a bunch of different things since the channel has started. I do like Asian cooking, as that was one of the things that I enjoyed first when I went to school. We have different stations, different classes. I had really good instructors. We're adding a little bit more sesame oil, so we're going to saute our onions and carrots. I had some instructors that were very, very good in Asian cooking, very well versed in Asian cooking, and they really helped me out a lot. I really enjoyed the complexity of flavors. I like a lot of the different things that go along with Asian cooking, and I like the different textures. So people always ask, what do you like to cook the most? I say a toss-up between Asian and Italian cooking is what I do like the most. I do have some unsalted butter that I'm going to add as well, just to get these vegetables sauteed. And at this point, I'm going to also add my cabbage. This is something that's not traditional, but it is something that helps stretch the dish, and it adds also some texture to the dish. It'll cook down, so it won't be as noticeable, but I will tell you it is something that is definitely a nice treat to go along with the dish. So I've made this before, and I've had to, in some instances, needed like some sort of a filler, and I came up with using cabbage as that filler. Again, you don't find this in traditional shrimp fried rice, but it works for me. It gives me extra, fiber. And, you know, hey, listen, I'm cooking, it's my kitchen, this is what I'm gonna do. If you don't wanna do it in your kitchen, you don't have to. That's the beauty of being able to make and prepare food in your own home. So while this is going, again, we have our seasoned shrimp. We have our peas. We're not gonna add our peas until the end, simply because we don't want them to overcook. We like the color that they would provide. We have our cabbage going. We added, no need to add any other spices at this in particular point. If we had some fresh ginger or more garlic, we could probably have put it in, but I use all the garlic in the shrimp. We're going to toss that in a minute. What I'm actually looking for is just for this cabbage to wilt down just a little bit and to actually become a little bit more pliable. We're then going to add a little bit more of the unsalted butter because we are going to add our shrimp. Notice how quickly the dish is going once you have all your mise en place together. So I'm going to make kind of a well in the middle of the pot, and I'm going to put my shrimp in. And I'm going to let that go. Once it starts to turn like a nice pink color, we are then going to turn. We're going to add our rice and our sauces, and we're halfway there. Let this cook a minute, tune back in. We'll be finishing up in just a moment. And we are back, just about the round third base, making our way home. You have seen I have turned my shrimp. They probably take about maybe a minute. Well, actually, no, I'm gonna say probably about 2 minutes or so. Once they start to curl up, you know they're ready to be flipped. I have a little bit of, I had to turn my flame down because I'm getting a little bit of sear on my shrimp, and that's not what we want. But now, since everything is kind of in, we're going to take and put in some of our rice. And again, because this is cold, day-old rice, I'm breaking it up. Because if not, you would just put in a big clump, and then you'd have a hard time kind of moving it around. So we have our shrimp in, our cabbage in, our rice in. Then we're going to go in with a little bit of, this is the teriyaki sauce. Again, this is more for color as opposed to flavor. That's 1/4 cup. This is the glaze. That will also add some color to it. But it's also adding liquid. So we just want to be careful because we don't want our rice to be mushy. We still want it to have some sort of texture. And now we're going to go in with the low sodium soy sauce. So that's about 1/4 cup. And you're starting to see the brown color come. And then we're going to go in with the sweet soy sauce. And that is about 1/4 cup as well, maybe a little bit more. So you're starting to see the rice transform in color. And then we're going to add our peas in. They're frozen peas, and that's okay. This dish is just about ready. The shrimp and the flavor of the shrimp are already in the rice. That's good. The rice is developing a little bit of a crust. I am Hispanic, so we like the pegal, which is usually the bottom of the rice pot. I know they don't normally have it in this type of cooking. We're going to add fold our egg in at this point. Just gently fold it in so you still see some pieces. And then we're going to finish with some scallions. And there you have it. Shrimp fried rice. We'll plate this guy up now. I would enjoy probably with a nice egg roll or something like that. But if you didn't have, no worries. There's still plenty going on in this dish. Quality takeout shrimp fried rice. Cooking with the cooks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. We were in the kitchen probably in less than 15 minutes. Shrimp fried rice, cooking with the cooks. Hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.